What's up, Internet? My name is Michael Cook. This is Blue Giant Media, and we're here to connect through gaming. Today we're going to put the spotlight on Gizmos by Phil Walker Harding and published by Cool Mini or Not. This is an engine building game with an interesting marble tray, which may or may not remind you of the game that's also by Cool Mini or Not. And we're going to just take a look at the rules overview, and we're going to come back and I'll let you know what I do like, what I don't like, and who may or may not like Gizmos. Here I have Gizmos set up for 2 players. So on your turn, you're going to be able to take one of 4 different actions. And they are set up right here. The player with the brown player strip is going to be the first player. There's 4 different ones, and 3 of them are grayish, and then this one's brown. So the first action that you can take, and it's the one that starts with a gizmo in place, is going to be the file action. If you do the file action, the basic rule there just says that you get to choose any one of these cards, take it, and set it face down underneath your research to show that it's in your archive. It's filed away. Now, whenever you take any kind of an action, you get to look at all the gizmos underneath it and basically activate each one as is applicable. This one right here says whenever you take the file action, you're just going to get to reach in and take any one marble from the dispenser, kind of without looking though. And whenever you take a marble, it gets placed there. So that's one of the actions you can do. Another action is to just pick a marble, and that's to kind of take one. Oops. To take one from the ones that are actually showing in the dispenser. So you can go ahead and take this one right here, because maybe you know that you want to build one of these 2 gizmos, because this is the cost of the gizmos. So without further ado then, let's go into build. Whenever you want to build a gizmo, you can choose to either build one that is set in your archive, or you can choose to build one that's out here. And to do that, you're just going to pay the cost in the lower left-hand corner. So this one right here is going to cost 1, and you can see from the bottom half of the card that it's black. So 1 black energy. This one's going to take 1 red energy, 2 yellow energy, etc. So this one, if you wanted to build, you could just go ahead and take this and build a gizmo. Now, whenever you build a gizmo, the top left is going to show you what it modifies. So this one has this plus sign. That means it is going to modify your upgrade or your basic stats basically. So what that says is that normally you can hold 5 energy in your little ring of power here. So this increases that by 1. So you can hold 6 in here now. And also, normally you can only have 1 card filed away in your archive. Now it is increased to 2. Also, there's this last symbol here, which corresponds to the last action, which is to research. Now, whenever you research, that means that you get to choose any one of these and draw this many cards. So normally it's going to be 3. And then you can choose to either pay to build it immediately if you have the necessary marbles, or go ahead and file it away in your archive to be able to be built later. Alright, so now that you have a pretty good idea of how to play Gizmos, I want to let you know what I do like about it. I really am a fan of engine builders. So right off the bat, it just has that going for it. I like games that you can kind of get this, which allows you to do this, and this allows you to do this. And what this does well is that it lets you chain from one to the other. You can, this activates this, which activates these 2 things, which then comes back and activates this. I really enjoy that. It's just chain back and forth. I love how convoluted it is. I enjoy that aspect of it. So I'm a big fan of that portion of it. The other thing is that I think it works really well as a gateway plus. Even though with all that kind of back and forth, it can make it overwhelming. Like I said, gateway plus. You have to know your group, and also maybe it's not your very first game, but it's something that kind of lets people see what is out there. But the way the game is produced makes it a little bit more accessible, just because of the way it looks on the table. That marble dispenser, which is totally pointless, it has that going for it. It's going to make people a little bit more interested in what it is. The tactile feel of the marbles, it just has a little bit of that going for it. So I think it works really well. The other thing I enjoy is just the length of it. It's a game that's going to take 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes less, depending on the number of players and who is playing it. There can be a little bit of analysis paralysis as you're trying to keep track of, okay, what did I chain to, what does it do, which marbles do I want to keep? But I think that overall it's going to be a really solid length and a great experience for what it is. I absolutely love that. Things that I don't like about the game is that I kind of wish that there was a way to flush the offer spaces, like get rid of a row of cards and put new ones out, or get rid of all the marbles and let new ones run out maybe once a game or something like that. Just because every once in a while, especially once the game gets going, usually it's not an issue. But at the beginning of the game, when nobody has any converters, if the game setup has a bunch of yellow and red gizmos, but there's only blue and black marbles out there, and there's no converters, your only choice is to research, which I know is supposed to be what it's there for, and it works very well sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. And I just wish every once in a while that, oh man, I wish in those first couple turns of the game this particular setup, I just want to wipe these cards or wipe these dice out and just get it going. So that's one thing that bothers me. The fact that the cardboard dispenser is cardboard. They just went through converting Potion Explosion, which is extremely reminiscent of, to a plastic dispenser with the second edition. This is even worse to put together and even less durable in my opinion. I like how it fits in the box. They did a nice job with the insert, but why would you make it that way? Again, it's superfluous. It could just be a bag filled with tokens and you pulled a couple, made sure that there's always an offer of a few tokens in a line or something like that. It could easily have been done that way. So again, this was a gimmick. I think it works well. I think it's pointless, but I wish that it was a plastic dispenser. So that's what I think about that. The other thing is the little player strips. They're flimsy, and I can see that they are just going to rip after not too many plays. They're very easy to bend the wrong direction. So I don't know if they just needed to be higher quality or just think of something different for that player strip, but it just doesn't work very well. So who's going to like this game? If you are like me and you like engine builders, I think this is right up your alley, especially if you want a lighter experience. If you're a big, heavy gamer and you love a really thinky, meaty, crunchy engine building game, this isn't it. This is light, this is accessible, this is fun, this is a little bit loose with the luck. So if you like that kind of thing, this is going to be right in your wheelhouse. If you enjoyed Potion Explosion, this is a different game, but it's immediately going to have the same tactile feel, which I think is one of the big selling points of Potion Explosion. So if you're a fan of Potion Explosion, I think that you'll be able to move right over to this, because in Potion Explosion you also had a little bit of, not engine building, but the kind of chaining back and forth with, okay, I'm going to use this potion, which will give me this marble, and now I'm going to use this potion, which will let me turn these 3 marbles into these 3 marbles, because I'm going to use them as a different color. Just, you can kind of chain things back and forth. So if you like that portion of Potion Explosion, I think you're going to be able to jump right into Gizmos. And also, if you like a game that has multiple paths to victory, I think this has got it. I played a game the other day where I went for kind of just set it up so, okay, anytime I grabbed I would research. Anytime I researched something, it would let me get a pick. And anytime I picked a color, I think it was blue, it would let me get 2 or 3 picks out of the top. And then whenever I built anything from my file, then it would let me draw, I think it was 4 marbles from from inside the container, as well as get some picks. So it was nuts. And even with all that going for it, I only won by a few points because someone else just set up an engine where they got points every time. They were just building small things. I'm going to build this, and that's going to give me a couple points because I get 2 points for every blue thing I build. I'm going to build this because I get 2 points and a pick for every yellow one that I build. And she just leaned on that, and it was a close game. So I like the fact that there really are different paths to victory there. People who won't like the game. If you're not a fan of gimmicks, this is a gimmick. I've said it multiple times. That dispenser is completely unnecessary. It is just there to look cool on the table. There are many other ways that they could have implemented that. It could have just been a bag of marbles and you pull a few of them out and put them in one of those same types of rings and just said, pick one. It would have been the exact same thing. But, so anyway, if you don't like gimmicks, that's going to bother you. You're probably just going to say, no. If you don't like to have a lot of luck in your games, there's going to be some in this one. It's not a whole lot, but if you like really low luck games, then you might want to stay away. If you don't like keeping track of all those combos that I thoroughly enjoy, if you sit there and just go, why do I have to go bing, 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 ping-ponging back and forth, trying to figure out which gizmos I want to activate and which ones do and which ones don't, if that bothers you, pass, okay? And then I think it does suffer from a little bit of possibly a runaway leader problem sometimes. If I get a particularly nice combo at the beginning, you might feel like there's no catching up, and it might be true. But because it's such a short game, that doesn't bother me. But if you can kind of see that and that bothers you, and you just know, okay, well then I'm just going to be sitting here annoyed for the next half hour, then you might not like this game. But those are the things that I think you need to consider. Okay, let's go ahead and take the spotlight off of Gizmos, and if you want to know more about it, you can go ahead and look in the description section for links to my unboxing, as well as my setup and rules overview with some gameplay. You can also find a link there to macronovagames.com where you can buy Gizmos and a whole bunch of other great games. If you have any other comments, questions, or concerns about Gizmos, or just about gaming and connecting with each other through gaming, let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to connect with you. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see, and have a wonderful day.